Good morning, everybody. We're going to be making today bread. What kind of a bread we're going to be making? We're going to be making a rye bread. But because we don't have a rye flour, we're going to be making actually a whole wheat bread. Our ingredients is, what do we need? We need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, white all-purpose. We need 1 cup of whole wheat flour. We need yeast, active dry yeast from Aldi, 89 cents for 3 packages. You need about half a teaspoon of yeast, and then we need salt. Salt, you need 1 teaspoonful of salt. Rest of it is optional. We have optional, well, I do like to use my caraway seeds because even if it's not a rye bread, I like caraway seeds in my bread. Rosemary leaves, very good for that. We have some Greek seasoning, we have Italian seasoning, we have rosemary and garlic seasoning, we have Provence seasoning, and then there is a Tuscan garlic seasoning. You can use any of them, all of them, it's up to you. You can mix it up, you can use flax seeds, chia seeds, whatever your heart desires. So how are we going to start? We're going to get one big bowl. You need a really big one because you will realize why later on. So you always start with a big bowl for this bread. We're going to measure up the flour. So we need 2 cups of white flour. So 1, 2, 1 cup of whole wheat flour. There you go. And then we need salt. So we need salt. We're going to put 1 teaspoonful of salt. You can do less, it's up to you. I don't actually leave anyone full because too much salt is not good for you. And we're going to mix it up. Mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it. We're going to add some spices, as I said before, caraway seeds. So you can do a spoonful of caraway seeds. I do like my caraway seeds. So for sure, 1 teaspoonful. I think I need to get more. Too much bread baking. Rosemary, for sure. You want to do rosemary too. People always ask me how much. I don't know. 3/4 teaspoon. It's whatever your heart desires. There is nothing wrong, nothing bad. I'll put some Greek seasoning in there. Nothing wrong with being Greek or with having Greek seasoning in it. They all great culture. Provence. A little bit of French. It's going to be like an international bread. Watch it. And there is the Italian seasoning. We have here we go, Tuscan garlic. A little bit of that. And start mixing. Look at that. You're wondering what is this kind of a noise? Well, that's my oven preheating for the bread. And you will understand in just a little bit why. Okay, so that's that. We're going to get some yeast. So we have mixed our ingredients. We should have added also some Czech love into it since we have such an international bread. And meanwhile, I prepared also my lukewarm water. You can see it right here. It's 1.5 cups, 1.5 cups of water. And it has, I actually put a half a teaspoonful of yeast. You're going to let it dissolve for just a little bit. When you pour it in, you mix it and you just let it sit for a little. Once you get all that ready, you're going to get your spatula. You're going to make like a little hole in here and you're going to pour it in. Okay? Just like this. Okay? And you mix it. That's all what it is to it. And again, you might be thinking, well, this is a really big bowl for, this doesn't look like much of a batter. It's only 3 cups of flour, so why do I need such a big bowl? You will see. It's really not much of a needed to be done. You just need to incorporate all the flour into the dough or batter. Never really knew the difference between a dough and batter, but I guess if it's a yeast, right? It's a dough. It's not a yeast, it's a batter, possibly. You know how these foreigners are, and only half of the language. So here we are. That's it. This is done. Look at this. Beautiful, right? So I like this dough like this, and then I also use a little bit of water just to pad my dough to make it, I don't know, a little bit more sticky, so then the yeast can work with it. I don't know if that's the right thing or not, but it usually works for me, and you will find out why. So make it nice and wet, just like that. To wash my hands. And then you're going to sprinkle it just with a little bit of flour on top. Not much, just a little bit. So here, watch this. Just like that. And you cover it. Right? Now you can use, if you have a shower cap at home from travel, perfect thing to cover it up. If you have a lid, you put a lid on it. If you don't, you just just cover it like that with your dish towel, okay? I already made one last night, just exactly like that, and you just saw the batter. Look what happened. Mine was covered, right? Now look at this. Look how much it raised, right? So let me open it up for you. And now you see, then from that little one, right there, you see how much it raised? So this is before, this is after, okay? You let it sit for 12 hours now, 12 hours. Let me show you how we're going to continue with this batter. So I have prepared my placemat for my for me working with the batter or the dough. Again, look at this beauty. That's what happened over 12 hours. It rised just like this. You can see it real good. So you're going to be gently scraping it from the bowl, very gently. Scrape it out of the bowl. And meanwhile, you preheated your oven at 435 degrees. Okay? And you are preheating your oven. You're already going to put your pot in the oven with the lid on. Going to keep the lid on it the whole time it's preheating, and then you're going to let it sit there for another maybe 10 minutes or so as you are playing with your bread. Okay? All you do is to fold the bread. It's easier to see from one side to another. Just like this. Okay. I'm going to just put a little bit of flour under it. Not much of a need to be hard on the bread. It slept really good. Just like a little baby. Look at it. Right? And you're going to let it sit for a few minutes. Maybe 10 minutes or so. As I said, meanwhile, your oven is preheating. And I'm going to set up my camera so you get to see it as I'm putting it in the oven. And that'll be it. Then you bake it. So here's my pot with the lid. I just took it out of the oven, which is being preheated at 435 degrees. I'm going to take the pot with the lid has been in the oven since the time I started the oven, and then it's been there another 10 minutes after that. Okay, just going to take the lid off, and I'm going to throw the bread inside, just like that. It doesn't really have a perfect shape, but it's okay. Nobody's perfect. You can put some caraway seeds on top of the bread if you want. And then you're going to close it up with a lid. You're going to put it in the oven for 30 minutes with the lid on. And then you're going to take the lid off after 30 minutes and let it sit there for another 12 to 15 minutes, depending how your oven bakes. That's it. It has been 30 minutes since we had the bread in. So we're going to get the bread out. Actually, just put it out like this. Take the lid off. And look at the beauty. And let it be there for another 15 minutes. Okay, 15 more minutes and it will be done. And this is the final product. I just took it out of the oven and I'm going to transfer it to my cooling rack. So I'm going to set up my camera here. And it is so nice. Ooh, look at this. It is beauty, right? Oh my God, I can't wait. Ooh, I can wait. And it smells so good. So that's it. This is how the cookie crumbles, right? Don't they say that? But best bread ever. Easy. See ya. Ciao. Ciao. Hasta la vista. Dobrou chuť.